Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. My name is Adam Bergman, and I want to talk a little bit about a company called Palantir. Palantir is a $35 billion market cap behemoth that, if nothing else, is extremely diverse in their offerings. But in a nutshell, what Palantir does is it allows you to take your specific data, whether you are a major corporation or you are a government, both military and non, both domestically and abroad. It allows you to take your data and make your data as efficient as possible, therefore making you the best possible version of yourself, your corporation, your government, so on and so forth. At $35 billion, Palantir does have competition that tries to do a very similar task. And I would say that the competition on a publicly traded level would be Snowflake, which is valued at $50 billion, and a company called Databricks, which is still private, valued at $43 billion and just raised $500 million, $500 million in funding. Now, Palantir, I believe, offers a very much more diverse product than Snowflake or Databricks, even combined. But essentially, all three companies attempt, try, and have capabilities to extract the most possible out of the data that you have. In a nutshell, this explains these companies. Now, in front of us, we have something called the artificial intelligence revolution. This is literally one of the greatest opportunities mankind has ever saw when it comes to revolutionizing us as a society. Maybe good, maybe bad, like it or not, it is literally right in front of us. You see, between Statistica and PwC, they estimate that the artificial intelligence market by 2030 will be somewhere between $2 trillion and $15 trillion. The opportunity is there, and the opportunity is absolutely massive. And while there won't be just one winner in the arena, there will be a main player, so to speak. Now, although all three companies do extract data and make you as efficient as possible, they don't all do the same exact thing. And frankly, there's levels to this shit. You see, Palantir is focusing on something called Palantir Aip, the artificial intelligence platform. All the rage right now, ever since ChatGPT came out, is LLMs, large language models. And although Palantir has been in this game for 2 decades now, nobody was really paying attention. But now, over the last, let's say, 6 or 9 months, everybody, frontline and center, is paying attention. And while Palantir already had 2 AIP cons, 2 full demos, and an full demo day showing people what AIP can do, not to mention already onboarding over 100 clients that are currently using, adapting, playing with artificial intelligence, and they're literally launching boot camps everywhere like crazy for free to onboard many other clients. Palantir is literally revolutionizing the field, allowing you to go over, maintain, use, and get the most out of KLLMs. KLLMs is just multi-large language models. And while Palantir is doing that at a measly $35 billion market cap that some people might think is overvalued, you have Palantir's competition. But Palantir's competition talks a big game, but they don't actually walk the walk. You see, you would think that these massive $43 and $50 billion companies that talk a lot of shit about being leaders in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and LLMs would actually have generative AI products, but they don't, and they don't compare to Palantir. Let me explain. You see, Databricks is making an acquisition of $100 million of a company called Archeon, and I'm pronouncing that wrong. It came out earlier today. I'll read you the article in just a moment. And they actually acquired for $1.3 billion a company called Mosaic ML. The reason they're acquiring these 2 companies is to try to produce a product similar to Palantir AIP. But Palantir AIP is years ahead, not 6 months ahead, years ahead, because they've been doing this for 2 decades, just nobody noticed. That's why Palantir was able to come up with Palantir AIP. That's why Palantir was able to come up with Palantir AIP literally overnight. Some people thought that they wouldn't be able to launch it. Some people thought that Palantir AIPCon would be a flop. But not only did they produce a minimum viable product, they produced in actuality full working product. In their current boot camps, they are getting you from 0 to hero in 1 to 5 days. Literally launching a product for your business to make you more efficient. And I'm going to show you some examples in just a moment. In less than 5 days, that's unheard of in the business world. And then you have this behemoth Snowflake that literally announced a partnership with NVIDIA to essentially do digital twins, the secret sauce, the ontology of Palantir. They bought a company called Neva for, I believe, $150 or $350 million. And they're about to acquire a company called Ponder. Why are they acquiring those companies? Very similar to the same reason why Databricks is acquiring those companies, because they don't actually have an artificial intelligence platform. They don't actually have an answer for LLMs. Sure, they allow you to do a lot of things with your data, but they are lackluster and, for lack of better words, leaves you wanting compared to Palantir. You see, Palantir is an empire builder. Literally transforms your company, your government, your product, so on and so forth, while Databricks and Snowflake allow you to fix little things here, little things there, and that's why their offerings are so effing cheap. But not everybody needs a Palantir. Everybody needs Databricks and the Snowflake. But I believe that as this entire economy, as this entire market shifts and grows, Palantir's value is going to continue to be unlocked, and a lot of people are starting to realize this. Take a look at this screen, and I wanted to ask you a question before you take a look. If Databricks and Snowflake are valued so much more than Palantir, why do they need to have all these acquisitions just to try to compete with what Palantir is already doing? And if they are so special, where were they at the White House representing their companies in the AI conference? And where will they be in the AI conference that's happening shortly in the United Kingdoms? If these companies are so big and bad, Databricks and Snowflake, why are they not showcased with Ukraine? And why are they not showcased in general, changing the world and making things better? Because they can't. And it's a crying shame that they're $50 billion and $43 billion market cap, while Palantir is only a $35 billion market cap company. That's all going to change as more companies are going to realize just how valuable Palantir is. Take a look at the screen, please. This is the announcement by Databricks. The $43 billion analytics firm acquires data startup Archeon for $100 million. And if you go a little bit lower, this is that they raised $500 million in their last round of funding. And this is that they're talking about Mosaic machine learning for $1.3 billion was acquired. And just listen to what is said here, right? These are not just my words. These are the words of the article, right? We are focused on continuing to build a successful, sustainable business for long run, Goji told CNBC. An IPO will be a milestone, but we're focused on satisfying the intense demand from customers and ensuring their long-term success. The company's CIO summit in March sparked the acquisition idea, Gaudi said. It's part of Databricks' AI push and partly inspired by the tech sector's growing interest in generative AI. You see, they are fakers. They are frauds. They are literally riding the jock of the artificial intelligence revolution. They had no intentions of these products until, frontline and center, all eyes on OpenAI, ChatGPT. But Palantir literally had these type of products. They literally had all of these assets. They just rebranded, shifted, put a pretty, wrapping and a bow on it. But they always had Palantir AIP. They were using it with the military to an extent already. They just didn't call it Palantir AIP. The CEO says, I asked them, what do you want us to work on? And what's on top of your priority? Gori recalled. Everybody said, just deal with the data ingestion problem. Can you just solve the ingestion problem for us? And this is the acquisition for Neva, okay? This is from Snowflake, guys. Just so you guys understand, I'm just trying to shed a light of how valuable Palantir is and how ahead they are of the curve. Search is fundamental to how business interacts with data, and the search experience is evolving rapidly with new conversational paradigms emerging in the way we ask questions and retrieve information, enabled by generative AI. The ability for teams to discover precisely the right data point, data assets, or data insight is critical to maximizing the value of data. That's why Snowflake is acquiring Neva, a search company founded to make search even more intelligent at scale. Neva created a unique and transformative search experience that leverages generative AI and other innovatives to allow users to query and discover data in new ways. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to Enrique because he's the reason why I got all these articles and part of the reason why I'm making this video. So shout out to Enrique at UNSPOKEN ways. And he's the one that linked me of all of these articles. Really, really, really cool. For sure, for sure, for sure. Now, this is in stark contrast of what Palantir did. You see, Palantir literally launched, as I said, Palantir AIPCon 1, AIPCon 2, and Palantir AIP Demo Day. And Palantir is launching boot camps everywhere. Listen to Shyam Sankar and just understand the comparison of Snowflake and Databricks that together are doing less than Palantir in the generative AI space. And make no mistake about it, that is where all the money is. That is where all the opportunity is. Listen to Shyam Sankar.
And we've been really thinking about how do we help our customers understand how to think about these things differently. Like, where are the risks? Where is it quite safe? One of the most effective techniques for us, to the point of this journey being truly empirical, is that we've been organizing these boot camps. We go city by city. We've done one in Chicago, one in Tokyo. We get 10 to 20 customers together. They spend a week building a production application. So they are going to leave that week having shown their peers what they built and having shown themselves that in a week they can build a production application using this technology. The most important part of that journey is not only the power of belief in what they can do, but the intuition over, oh, this is how it's actually going to work. Because it's not going to be a chat interface, realistically. In fact, that's not where the useful production outcomes are going to come from. What does it really look like? What sort of use cases should I go after?
So there you have it. You hear Shyam Sankar, who's speaking and literally explaining how Palantir is ahead of the curve and exactly what Palantir is doing with the Palantir AIP demos and how they're taking market share away from Databricks and Snowflake. And I hate to use them as an example, but they are far behind just trying to catch up to what Palantir already has been doing for the better part of the last year. Think about it. By the time they actually are able to do something somewhat of what Palantir is doing, Palantir is already going to be in the next step of this journey, in this battle, so on and so forth. And that is the moat of Palantir. If you're not first, then you're last. Now, I want to show you some quick demo. While they're still acquiring companies to be able to do something, check out what Mikhail Fedorov, who's literally the digital transformation minister of Ukraine, put out. It's a quick 45-second demo of Palantir AIP for Ukraine currently being used. And it's absolutely freaking phenomenal. Check this out. Guys, there's not going to be any sound, so I'll try to read this as good as I possibly can. So it says, how many hazards are there? How many are confirmed? And then Palantir AIP is saying that there is currently 1,312. They said, show me the tiles on the hazardous regions. And the map shows them all of the tiles. It says, here are the tiles. They said, now show me where the tiles have accidents. And then it shows you all of the tiles that are hazardous with accidents. And then they say, well, how many schools are linked to these tiles? They say 1,652 schools. They said, of these tiles, which have the most damage or most at risk. And then they say, now filter just the tiles from Hermoda. I guess that's the region. And they're filtering that specific region. And then it says, I have filtered the tiles on the back end to include blah, blah, blah. you can value the filtered tiles, and then you can extract all the data that you need from the actual map. It's really cool if you think about it, guys. I did my best to read that as quick as possible, and it's only a 45-second demo, but you guys get the picture, right? While Snowflake and Databricks that are valued much higher than Palantir are just coming out with their products, Palantir is not only making demos, Palantir is not only making conferences around this, Palantir is not only making boot camps, but Palantir has an actual valued product that's currently being used at the highest possible levels of government in Ukraine. This is pretty dope. Not to mention, nowhere is Snowflake or Databricks CEOs at the White House for an AI security conference, or the equivalent of an AI security conference happening in the UK with Rishi Sunak. Where are they? Palantir's Dr. Alex Karp was sitting right next to Elon Musk. Palantir's Dr. Alex Karp is going to be meeting with the Prime Minister of UK, Rishi Sunak, and I presume to actually talk about the NHS deal besides for the AI conference. Guys, Palantir is an absolute beast. If you're not seeing this, you're probably blind or you got your head shoved up your ass. At the end of the day, I cannot absolutely say 100% with certainty Palantir is going to be a world beater and the price is going to go up. Nobody can give you that certainty. However, in my opinion, Palantir is still undervalued, and I believe that the earnings are going to catch up to the capabilities and the offerings of what Palantir is giving you. In the comments down below, please, I'm begging you, let me know what you think about Palantir's capabilities. And is Palantir a world beater? Does Palantir have a moat? And is it actually ahead of competitors like Snowflake and Databricks? And if you believe that the revenue and the growth rate is going to catch up to the capabilities and offerings that Palantir is currently giving. Thank you and have a great day.